Hey guys, Feuerrm here, and today I will be testing the Lamborghini Huracan in multiplayer in Forza Horizon 4. My tune is by GTZ Marple, and this decal, made to look like the Asphalt 9 one, is by Asa Neon Phi. So while I did not manage to get the Asphalt 9 decal in Asphalt 9, I got it in Forza Horizon 4. Bit of a weird thing to think about. In this video is a series of 5 races that were recorded in a private lobby with me and some people in my Purple Team community. If you would like to join in one of these races, join the Purple Team Discord, the link will be in the description, then go to the Special Roles channel, click on the Forza Horizon 4 emote. It will give you the Forza Horizon 4 role, which I will then tag every time I do one of these private lobbies, and I'll give instructions on how you can join. If you have Forza Horizon 4, this is pretty much the easiest way you can get into one of my videos. So now let's get to our very first race here, which is on Greendale Super Sprint, one of my favorite tracks in the game. We are joined by Vionics in his McLaren 720S, Neptuna in his Apollo IE, Obstacle Bear in his Bugatti Veyron, Fox in his Sesto Elemento, Dark Sugar in his Huracan, and Homoth in his Audi R8. Many of them got their times to shine in this video, so keep a lookout for that. This first race is not very intense, as you might be able to tell. I managed to get fairly far ahead in the beginning, but the next 4 races all are very close. And the last one in particular is a quite intense catch-up sort of race, so definitely stay tuned till the end. The Huracan is not a king of S2 class, but as we'll see throughout this video, it can compete quite well. With my tune, it can go up to 244 miles per hour on the highway, and the car's acceleration and handling are sort of average, I would say. The handling may be a bit above average. Overall, it is a fun car to drive, and one thing I like about it is that it feels quite smooth, a lot like its Asphalt 9 counterpart. And I sort of found the same thing with the Corvette. It has good handling, but its top speed is not very good, just like the one in Asphalt 9. So that's a quite interesting trend that seems to sort of go between the games on some of the cars. Speaking of Asphalt 9, one of the big reasons I haven't done a Forza video in quite a while now, well, it's really been about a month, is just because there's so much going on in Asphalt 9, and that game does take priority on my channel. But do not worry, Forza fans, I will definitely continue to make Forza Horizon 4 videos, as I quite enjoy them, and I know you do as well. We come in first in this race, with Fox and his Sesto coming in second place. Now for a race on what I believe is my favorite circuit track in the game, Moorhead Wind Farm Circuit. So that's why you will probably see it appear quite a bit in my videos. Plus the Huracan seems to be fairly good, at least at these circuit sorts of tracks. Now, all of the other races in this video besides this one are on normal non-circuit races, which I personally think are more interesting because you don't see the same thing 3 times in a row, and that is why for the majority of circuit races in Forza on my channel, I'll likely cut out the second and third laps on them unless something interesting happens, because nobody wants to see the exact same thing over and over 3 times unless something actually interesting happens on them to separate some laps from other ones. I've done that in Asphalt 8 and 9, and I'll probably continue doing that. I just want to make the most entertaining videos for you guys, so nothing really does happen on the second lap, but on the third lap, Vionics Moon almost passes me around the final corner, but he does not quite manage to do so, and thus we come in first place. Pretty much, the races just get more and more intense throughout the video. This is what I found happens in a lot of my Forza videos, and if you think about it, it kind of makes sense, because the people, as they go along in the different events in my private lobby, they start to get more accustomed to their car and start to drive it better and know just how much to brake and stuff like that, and then you have a lot more really skilled just battles, which is definitely what we see in this race, and the next one, and the one after that. So recently, Update 11 came out for Forza Horizon 4, whose updates generally do come out about twice as fast as in Asphalt 9, it seems. They seem to do one about once a month instead of twice a month. Anyway, one notable addition in this update is the Porsche 911 Turbo 3.0. Now the reason this is interesting is because in one of the previous updates, whichever one added the LEGO expansion, there was a single barn find on the LEGO map, and nobody could actually get the car. Like, you could find it, but it wouldn't actually give you anything, unlike the other barn finds in the game. Now, judging by the parts that are on the ground, when you find the barn find, it had some white stuff, people deduced that it was an upcoming LEGO Speed Champion set, the 911 Turbo, just because of the pieces that were shown. It just made sense, and that was one that had not actually come out yet at the time, so it made sense that you couldn't obtain it yet in the game. In any case, now it has really been added, so your LEGO barn find can now be truly gotten. 4 other new cars were added in the update, 2 of them being new Aston Martins, like the 2019 DBS Superleggera and the 2017 Vanquish Zagato Coupe. Also, 2 new 1967 Volkswagens were added, the Karmann Ghia and the Type 3 Notchback 1600L. I've now managed to come back into first position, but will it stay that way? Let's find out. Unfortunately, I did not take this next turn up here so very great, therefore the 720S passes me, and then the Sesto does as well. By the way, I noticed that the Sesto was purple. Thank you, Quartz Fox, for that. I would have made the Huracan purple, but I could not pass up the opportunity to give it the decal that I could never achieve in Asphalt 9. You've probably noticed by now that this is not the same Huracan that's in Asphalt 9, it's not the Evo Spider, but it is still a Huracan. Quartz Fox and Vionics are neck and neck up there, and Neptuna is not too far behind me. This is one of the races where the most amount of people were the closest to each other that I've ever had in Forza. Usually near the end of the race, people spread out. Not so in this race. We come in third, but still beat 4 other players. One thing I really like about Forza that I'm sad that we cannot do in Asphalt 9 is playing against anybody that you please just by having them on your friends list and sending them an invite. I wish there was a sort of friending system in Asphalt 9 so that you could play with specific people without having to be in a club with them. Because currently, if you want to do a race with somebody who is not in your club, they have to either, number 1, be added to your club, or you have to be added to theirs, which is just a big hassle, and it could just be solved so easily by having a friend system like Forza. Because, I mean, even Forza has a sort of club team-ish system. Not like Asphalt 9, I don't think you get a bunch of rewards from them or whatever. I actually still need to read up quite a bit on the whole team aspect of Forza, because there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of substance with it. Like, they don't really seem to help you in much of any way. But I have considered making a purple team in Forza Horizon 4, just so that, well, if any of you guys aren't in a team and want to join one, you have one to join. There, I take a turn back there a bit too not sharply, and after going into first, I'm now back into fourth because of sliding back and forth and all that stuff. It is probably even more important in Forza than in Asphalt 9 to not make little mistakes and stuff like that, because they can really cost you a lot, and you don't just have nitro to get back up to your top speed in a few seconds. So at the end here, I'm trailing this Apollo IE, which I have made a video about if you want to check it out, and thus we come up to the finish line in second place. Although we did come fairly close to the Apollo in the end, and the person in second place did not manage to pass us, who is Holmoth in his Audi R8. Now pay attention to him in the next race, because he is one reason that this next race is a bit more intense than it might have otherwise been. It is on Glen Rannoch Hillside Sprint. So in one of the more recent updates to Forza, I don't remember which one, but it was probably a couple updates back, they added a fix for wall riding in online multiplayer, whereas if you did a wall ride, went up against the wall and just went around it like that, it would slow you down by a good bit. However, you don't have that in private adventures, so you have people like Holmoth who just go straight around the wall and manage to get quite far ahead by doing that. While in Asphalt 9, this is considered a perfectly fine way to get good times and whatever, in Forza it is considered, well, not entirely dirty necessarily, but just a cheap way to go faster, I guess. But whether or not you think it's dirty, it's generally looked down upon by the community, and so I try not to do it, and I mean, if I don't do it in these private adventures, that also means I don't get used to it, and then I don't try to do it in online adventures as well. I think the reason why it's accepted in Asphalt 9 but not in Forza is because Asphalt 9 is meant to be an arcade game where you just do basically whatever you can aside from cheating the game or whatever in order to get a better time. But in a game like Forza, which is meant to be at least more of a simulation racer than Asphalt 9, you're pretty much meant to do just the stuff that you would do on a normal racetrack, and that doesn't really include wall riding. I honestly wouldn't be so concerned about it if the devs themselves weren't so concerned about it, but it is what it is. Another thing in online adventures that you don't see in private adventures is the ghosting, where if somebody is going to hit you very fast, like trying to ram you into a wall or whatever, it makes you phase through them, and therefore they just get slowed down a lot. But thankfully, I've never really seen any true rammers in any of my races, so thank you guys for playing clean in that aspect. So we are 3/4 of the way through Glen Rannoch Hillside Sprint, and I was thinking, okay, I'm pretty sure my car is better than this Audi R8, so perhaps I could pass him around these corners here, because this car does handle quite well. I also have this 720S to deal with, but mainly right now I was focused on this R8. car 8. And it looked like I was doing a pretty good job. I caught up to him at this corner, and then because I have a bit better acceleration, I took the inside here, and then passed him at 9/10 of the way through the race. Then Vianox tried to pass me not too long before the end here, but thankfully he just bumps me a bit and I do come in first place. You can bet my heart was beating pretty hard during that race. So thank you all for watching, please like the video if you've enjoyed and consider subscribing for more Asphalt 9 and Forza content, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!